In the heart of a city where dreams were built on hard work and determination, there lived a man named Marcus Varno. Marcus was no ordinary person. He carried within him a quiet strength that made people take notice. With his dark hair always neatly combed back and sharp eyes that seemed to see through everything, Marcus had earned respect not just for his appearance but for his intelligence and leadership skills. At 35 years old, Marcus was already at the helm of one of the most successful companies in the region, a business empire known simply as Pinnacle Group. But despite his success, Marcus wasn't satisfied with being just another faceless executive sitting behind a mahogany desk. He believed deeply in understanding the struggles of those who worked tirelessly to keep Pinnacle running smoothly. So every few months, Marcus would shed his tailored suits and designer watches, trading them for casual clothes and blending into the ranks of his own employees. This undercover journey allowed him to experience firsthand the challenges faced by the workers and find ways to improve their lives. This particular week, however, marked something different. A new manager had recently joined Pinnacle's headquarters, Robert Kane. Robert was ambitious, outspoken, and eager to make a name for himself. The problem was, his methods often came across as harsh and unyielding. His first day in charge of the operations department left many employees feeling uneasy, and whispers began spreading about how difficult it might be to work under such a demanding boss. Marcus decided it was time to step in, not as the CEO, but as someone starting fresh in the company. Disguised as a new hire named Michael, Marcus walked into the office early Monday morning, ready to learn what life was like under Robert Kane's watchful eye. Tuesday morning arrived faster than Michael expected. As he took his seat in the conference room, he couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation mixed with unease. The chairs were arranged in a circle, forcing everyone to face each other directly. Robert stood at the center, arms crossed, exuding authority. "All right," Robert began, his voice booming across the room. "Let's get started. We've got a lot to cover today." For the next hour, the meeting proceeded without incident. Reports were shared, updates discussed, and goals outlined. But then, halfway through, Robert paused and fixed his gaze on one of the employees. "David," he said sharply, pointing a finger. "Explain this discrepancy in last month's sales figures." David shifted uncomfortably in his chair. Well, sir, there was a minor error in the data entry process. I've corrected it since then." "A minor error?" Robert scoffed, shaking his head. "Do you realize how much money that cost us? You should have caught it sooner." David's face flushed red, and he stammered an apology. The rest of the room fell silent, no one daring to speak up or defend him. Michael watched closely, anger simmering beneath the surface. This wasn't leadership, it was bullying. When the meeting finally ended, Michael approached David outside the conference room. "Hey, are you okay?" David sighed heavily, running a hand through his hair. "Thanks for asking, but yeah, I'll survive. It's just frustrating, you know. I try my best, but nothing ever seems good enough for him." "I hear you," Michael said sincerely. "And honestly, I think you're doing great. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." David smiled weakly. "Thanks, Michael. That means a lot." As Michael walked away, he knew he needed to address this issue. But how? Confronting Robert directly wouldn't solve anything, not yet. Instead, Michael vowed to gather more evidence, to build a case that would force Robert to change his ways. Days turned into weeks, and Michael continued observing Robert's behavior. What he discovered shocked him. Not only did Robert belittle his employees in meetings, but he also manipulated numbers to make himself look better in quarterly reviews. Michael documented every instance, saving screenshots and emails that proved Robert's unethical practices. Then came the day of reckoning. During another tense meeting, Robert singled out a young employee named Alex for making a mistake in a project timeline. "You call this professionalism?" Robert demanded loudly, slamming his fist on the table. "If you can't follow basic instructions, maybe this isn't the place for you." The room fell silent once again, except for Michael. Without hesitation, he stood up and spoke. "With all due respect, Mr. Kane, I think we're missing the bigger picture here. Mistakes happen, yes, but they're opportunities to learn and grow. Singling out individuals publicly doesn't foster teamwork, it destroys morale." Robert stared at Michael, clearly taken aback. For a moment, neither man said anything. Then, slowly, Robert sat down, his usual confidence faltering. "Who are you to question my methods?" he snapped. "I'm someone who cares about this company," Michael replied firmly. someone who believes in lifting others up instead of tearing them down. The room erupted in murmurs. Many employees exchanged hopeful glances, inspired by Michael's courage. Even Robert seemed shaken, though he tried to mask it with a scowl. Later that evening, after everyone had gone home, Michael received a private message from Robert. "Meet me in my office," it read. Reluctantly, Michael agreed. Inside the dimly lit office, Robert paced back and forth, visibly agitated. "Look," he finally said, stopping to face Michael. "I may have come across as too harsh earlier. Maybe I pushed too hard. But I only wanted results. Is that so wrong?" "It's not wrong to want results," Michael admitted. "But it is wrong to achieve them at the expense of your team's happiness and trust. Leadership isn't about control, it's about guidance. About helping others reach their full potential." Robert sighed, running a hand through his hair. "You're right. I've been blind to the impact of my actions. Thank you for pointing it out." For the first time, Michael saw vulnerability in Robert's eyes. It was a turning point, a moment of truth that could redefine their relationship. Over the following weeks, Robert made noticeable changes. He apologized to his team for his past behavior and actively sought feedback to improve. Slowly but surely, the atmosphere in the office began to shift. Employees felt empowered, motivated, and valued. But Michael knew his mission wasn't complete. One evening, after hours, he slipped into Robert's office and placed a folder on his desk. Inside were documents detailing Robert's manipulative tactics. "These are for you," Michael said quietly. "Not to punish you, but to remind you of the importance of integrity." Robert opened the folder, his eyes widening as he scanned the contents. "Where did you get these?" he asked, stunned. "That's not important," Michael replied. "What matters is what you choose to do moving forward. Will you let this define you, or will you rise above it?" Tears welled up in Robert's eyes, and he nodded solemnly. "Thank you, Michael. Whatever you're hiding, whoever you really are, thank you for showing me the light." It was then that Michael revealed his true identity. "My name isn't Michael," he confessed. "I'm Marcus Varnell, the CEO of Pinnacle Group." Robert froze, disbelief written all over his face. You were undercover this whole time?" "Yes," Marcus said gently. "Because I believe in second chances. And I believe in you, Robert. Prove me right." Months later, Pinnacle flourished under renewed leadership. Robert Kane became a model manager, celebrated for his empathetic approach and commitment to excellence. And Marcus Varnell continued his tradition of going undercover, ensuring that Pinnacle remained a place where everyone felt seen, heard, and valued. As Marcus reflected on his journey, he thought about the words he'd spoken to Robert. Leadership isn't about control, it's about guidance. Those words echoed in his mind, a reminder of the power of empathy and understanding. And so, the story of Marcus Varnell and Robert Kane served as a testament to the transformative power of humility, honesty, and heartfelt connection. In the end, it wasn't just about running a business, it was about building a legacy worth remembering. That's the story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure sharing it with you all. Don't forget to comment below and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see the global reach of these stories. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories, tips, and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. If you'd like to show some extra love, tap the 3 dots near the share button and send a super thanks.